going to continue playing Forge the Adventure Mode. And when we last left off, we have 2 keys. We definitely have 2 keys now. Haven't gone back and looked yet. Recording these sort of back to back. So, we're going to do the War of the Spark draft now. But I need to do one small thing off screen. I created the insect pile, which as I sort of was building it, turned into very much the toxic and infect pile. So it has some nice or -1 count synergies. We put a Patra in there. We have a copy of Grist, which we found in this town. I have 4 copies of Overgrown Tomb, so we're looking okay on that front. Grasping Genes for more -1 counters. It's not the most powerful deck we've got by any means, but you know what? We'll see if we can get some infect wins down the line. In the meantime, though, we're going to be playing War of the Spark. So this was the finale of the 3rd Ravnican set, and the finale of a large chunk of the story, the Gatewatch story up to this point. And yeah, it is a very fun but a bit strange set to draft. So everyone will have Planeswalkers. That's pretty much a given. So being able to deal with Planeswalkers is going to involve having control of the board. So very much, this is going to be a draft where we're definitely going to prioritize things that can deal with Planeswalkers and creatures that are very difficult to stop. Where possible, we're going to go going into Grixis for reasons that might be apparent if we get them, but we'll see what else comes up. Ultimately, we can only pick up the cards that we are given. So, the Elder Spell, destroy any number of target Planeswalkers. Choose a Planeswalker you control, put 2 loyalty counters on them. So, this is just a flat destroy Planeswalkers in black, even if we don't get the second effect of that. Dovin's Veto is a counter spell. I don't know why it's being devalued. It's a counter spell ultimately. Our first Planeswalker is Huatli, so this basically is toughness matters, so creatures deal damage based on their toughness, not due to their power, at least the ones we control. Casmia's Transmutation is a removal spell. Callous' Special is a removal spell with Amass, which puts a +1/+1 counter on an army we control, and if we don't control one, we make a 0/0 army token first. So this is where the amassing rules sort of can come into things here. We also have Teferi's Time Twist, which is extremely good. Basically allows us to exile, reset a permanent, possibly reset a Planeswalker, depending on how this is going, but also get a creature back with +1/+1 counters to save it. Watertail Crocodile is not to be underestimated. It is a 5/3 with hexproof. It's difficult to stop. Sorin's First is removal as well, but I think we're going to gamble on the Elder Spell to start with. So we have the ability to just destroy Planeswalkers. Evolution Sage. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, proliferates. So choose things with counters, put another counter on them. As we've already seen with the Amass tokens, that is a way to increase things there. Proliferate, but also Planeswalkers have this as well. We're going to take the Evolution Sage. That's more of a hedge than anything else, but we've now got a second. So we need a payoff for this, really, but a Boreal Grazer should not be rated that low. This is a difficult to deal with wall. Protects your Planeswalkers, 0/3, blocks flyers. That should not be that low. Tyrant Scorn, though, is another removal spell or return spell. Again, board control. And can kill any small creature. Or we can go for a second Evolution Sage. I'd like to be into Mir if we can be. And that's a thing. But this is early days and we have the opportunity to take a second Evo Sage. We don't have anything that benefits it as of now, and even looking at this pack, not a lot that's hugely beneficial for it, but we'll take the Evo Sage. Okay. So here again, +1/+1 to target creature and proliferate, so more ways to proliferate things. Jaya Venerated Fire Mage, 2 damage to any target, but whenever a red source you control deals damage, do 1 more. Grim Initiate Amasses is also first striking. It's not a bad thing there. 5 mana is the other thing there. Burning Prophet is okay. If we can cast on creature spells. Total the Invasion actually is better than you'd think. Obviously, it's an overcosted discard outlet, which does produce a zombie token, to be fair. But this is a format where we're playing Planeswalkers, and most Planeswalkers will be starting at around 3, 4, 5. So Total the Invasion actually is not bad. I'd like Bond of Revival, but currently we don't have a creature we care about reviving at this stage. So I'm going to take Toll of the Invasion. It also gives us the zombie token. That might be relevant. Jace's Triumph. Draw 2 cards. If we control a Jace Planeswalker, draw 3. We'll see if we can get to that point. But in the meantime, we're going to take more hand attack. Here's another Toll of the Invasion. Banehound, 1/1 lifelink haste. We might end up taking that. The Snare Spinner is surprisingly good. It turns into a 3/3 when it blocks the creature with flying. Or we can just take the 2/2 Death Toucher, but I think we want something on 2 into 3 with the way we're currently built at this stage. We could take Tamir's Epiphany. It is an instant. We're mostly green-black anyway here, so I'm going to take the Snare Spinner and see what happens from here. We have more hand attack if we want it. We can take the Kaya's Ghost Form as well, so this basically allows us to put a reset on the thing. Again, the valuation on some of these cards seems low to me, but we could also take the Mayhem Devil. That puts us back into 3 colors, but 1 damage whenever they sacrifice a thing. We don't have any way to force sacrifices right now. I mean, we'll get Toll of the Invasion for number 3 here. So our basic plan is hand attack at this stage. The format is slower. I think this is still going to work for us. Invade the City could actually be good. If we go into... That puts us 4 colors. But... You have ways of doing this. Spellgorger Weird puts counters on itself as well. That actually is pretty decent. Erratic Visionary is fine. I like the Arboreal Razor. Don't get me wrong on that. But I think we'll take the Spellgorger Weird here. So we're looking to sort of spell sling in 3 in-jammed colors at this stage. Also, it's another thing that gets counters for the Evolution stage. So anything that proliferates, anything that adds counters is probably reasonable here. Nothing here I'm particularly excited about. I would take the Dovin's Veto, but that's 2 colors we're not really in. I'm going to put this Fairy's Time Twist in the sideboard. Whenever the Goblin Assault team dies, put a counter on a creature we control. It's a 4/1 with haste. It's not that amazing. I'd rather take the Stealth Mission here. Get 2 counters on a thing. Can't do that. Or we could put Totally Lost, put a card back on top. It's a bit more expensive, but I think Stealth Mission's fine. And again, I'll take the Fairy's Time Twist. I meant to sideboard the other thing, didn't I? Yep. Given the option, Grim Initiate gives us the thing. Catharsis might be too expensive, but we'll put it in anyway. Single combat. It's a removal space that we don't have to worry about. Sideboard, sideboard. Okay. Let's have a look then. So, Even Eternal is a flying 2/2 that also produces a 1/1, so that's reasonably to consider. Thunder Drake, whenever we cast 2 spells, puts a counter on itself. There is a counter spell for creatures or planeswalkers, if we go back into blue in a big way. Or Arlen, Voice of the Pack, would basically be 3/3 wolves eventually, and if we have ways to proliferate, even more of them. Godpharaoh's Statue, surprisingly, is a good endgame shutdown, but it is 6 to get to there, and I think we prefer the counterspell. There are 2 planeswalkers in this pack. So Ashiok Dreamrender is essentially mill, exile, and also get rid of any graveyard-based strategies that are going on. You'll also notice there's very little fixing. Gateway Plaza is about it. None of the dual lands from Rav that exist in this set. We're going to take Ashiok because I think... Oh, why would you do this to me? Alright. There is no way we can splash Teferi Time Raveler. Equally, I don't think we can let Teferi Time Raveler exist elsewhere. Maybe in actual War Draft it's not actually as busted as it is everywhere else, but essentially it means you can't counter spells. You can only play at sorcery. Your opponent can only play at sorcery speed. They can play at flash speed if they want to, and they basically get to bounce things for free on the thing. I'm putting that in the sideboard. I want a copy of it. We'll move on from there. Okay. Let's take Courage in Crisis and redebate what colours we're in again here, because we're now all over the place. We can play Ashiok as a double black card. That's not a problem. But I guess the No Escape might not be relevant depending on things here. We do have blue, though. I think this is fine. We need creatures rather urgently, actually, looking at that. That's what we just discovered there. Vivian's Grizzly. It's probably okay. I'm going to take the Sorens first. And more regrets later down the line, I'm sure. Vampire Opportunist is the sort of creature I like, to be fair. But we got a Pollen Bright Druid, which actually proliferates as well, or puts a counter on things to start the proliferation process. Let's take our Wardstale Crocodile. We saw one of these very early on. We need something to start winning games with. Turret Ogre. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible with the way that we're getting counters here. We also need creatures quite badly. This wheel. We'll take the Pharaoh statue this time. 1 damage target creature, can't block. We'll take the Primordial Worm just as a big endgame finisher here. Tithe Bearer Giant should be fine. Draw a card, losing life off of that as well. Okay, so we got our top end, I think. I don't think we want any more top end from this. This is probably okay. Low end and a direction might be useful. It's only a 2/2 for 2, but I think we might be in the point of wanting that. Maybe. No, we'll go small. Take the Grizzly. Ball Giant to the side. Back to the sideboard. Okay. Okay, we might be back in blue. Okay, so... God, this is a set. Alright, so Eternal Skylord is one of the big payoffs in a lot of ways. So when it enters amass 2, zombie tokens have flying, which means our zombie army that we've been building has flying. We can also get another Spell Godger weird, but I think we're just going to take the Eternal Skylord here. Augur Bolus, that is a blocker that also has some potential upside. Tamio Collector of Tales isn't bad either. Can't discard cards, can't sack permanents, search for specific cards, get cards back from the graveyard. But again, that's putting us in colours I don't want to be in. Death Sprout is removal though, and also ramps us. We'll take the Death Sprout. We focus a little bit more on removal here, and then we'll try and focus on what the heck colours we're in. Maybe we cut red again here. Let's remove the red cards. So if we remove red, what are we in? We are sort of in green-black splashing blue. It allows us to play our Teferi's Time Twists and the No Escape. So if we consider that as the deck at the moment. So a lot of hand attack, some evasive stuff for our creatures. Playing mostly Evolution Sages. We've got a couple of blockers. Okay. So definitely need some better finishes. So we're going to take another Tithe Bearer. I know I said we were pretty much done with big creatures, but this is sort of... Now we're sort of considering that our deck is trying to hold on until the late game, then keep the late game threats alive as long as possible. And I think that's the way we're going to do this. We'll take another Pollen Bright Druid. We have a Death Toucher, which I think we're okay with that. We go No Escape here. Okay, so Healy, we can play as a double blue. We are playing a lot of non-creature spells, which gets us a bunch of servos, which at the very least are additional blockers we can mess around with. Quatli I don't think does anything for us, so we'll put the Saheeli in the sideboard. We might bring that back in a moment. Guild Globe is one of the few ways we can actually do any kind of card filtering, so we'll take one of those now. Second Ashiok. I mean, we've got a backup plan of mill them out now. That's 16... I mean, we can activate this... We can activate these 5 times, effectively. So that is 40 cards into Ashioks if we get to that point. And that's ignoring the fact that we can proliferate. So, okay. Keeping them alive might be more of a problem, but that's what it is. My phone is buzzing at me. Bear with. Apologies for that. Alright, we'll take a Tamio's Epiphany. Oh, does Tamio wield? Yeah, we'll take a Tamio. Absolutely, we'll take a Tamio. Tamio's a great card. Nothing here we care about. We'll take the Emergent Zone. I don't think we're going to use it for that effect. Take another Primordial Worm. Return to Nature's a nice sideboard option. Stealth Mission's a good final pickup. We have the second one of that somewhere, don't we? Add to deck. Add that back to the deck for the moment, though we're probably going to hold off. And take the island. Okay. So this was a thing. Okay. So we got a lot of free mana things that do things. Very descriptive as always. So black, green, blue. Weirdly, we seem to be splashing black if you look at the overall composition of things here. So on that, we're going to remove that and that. I want to keep the Elder Spell because that might actually be somewhat relevant depending on things. Guild Globe's fine. A couple of Fairy Time Swiss we can use even on the Ashioks after we use them. So I kind of like that. I don't think Saheeli is necessarily what we want to be doing here. Maybe we cut a stealth mission. Maybe we cut a Toll of the Invasion. I like Toll of the Invasion, but we do need to justify everything else we're doing here. Take a Primordial Worm out. Again, one is fine. We're not really doing the Skylord plan anymore, if we look at things here. We are amassing with Toll of the Invasion. We do have a couple of random bits and pieces going on, but it's not really the plan. Although it is 5 mana of creature. It's 5 power of creatures on one body, which is not abysmal by any means. Take the Grizzly out. What do we then need? We need 3 more cuts. As a Tamio resets the board and can solve a lot of our problems. We can also go randomly searching for things as well. Maybe I side the Elder Scroll out just on that basis of it. Maybe I cut. I probably do want the Epiphany. As a Godfarer statue can win games by itself. We know there's going to be creatures or planeswalkers in the set. That is just absolute. Maybe get rid of a stealth mission. Anyway, so our creatures are amazing at this point. That puts us what? 20. That puts us to 16. 16 lands. Can we go with 16 lands? Also, I want to make sure it doesn't do something silly here. Sure. Well, that's what we're looking at. 41 cards, but I think this is okay. Well, we're about to see whether this is enough. I feel that this is not enough creatures. I feel that maybe I want to double up on the hand attack over the thing there. Strangely, this might even randomly be a mill deck. But, you know what? It's fine. We're just going to have to be very militant with how we play this, I think. There were better ways to go about this. I'm sure there were. Let's put the Toll of the Invasion back in. And take out the... Take out one of our top end things here. Take out the... we are double green for that. Take out one of the Tide Bearers. We're trying to control, but I'm not sure what we're controlling. Alright, let's see how this goes. We might get our first loss to the Merfolk Fighter here. We will play. Okay, so we've got Evolution Sage into a counterspell, into a thing. We're going to keep this. We're going to play... Actually, we don't have that because we don't have the Forest at the moment. Getting mana screwed, something very easily done in War of the Spark. And it's what's happening here. The good news is we have a counterspell up, so we'll hold that back. And we will cast No Escape. There are better things we could have casted on, but really I want to find my... Okay, Saddle to the bottom. We need to find that land. Did not find that land. This is a problem. We're also one short of Tammy's Epiphany to get out of this. Pass the turn. Okay, Krenko is a kill on sight creature. If we fail to kill that, we will lose the game. Alright, play out the Evo Sage. Pass the turn. Samut is a problem because it's going to pump up Krenko. They didn't attack. They really should have attacked there. Okay. Let's play Ashiok. We'll have you Milfour. then we exile the graveyard as well. So, okay. Got rid of the Crunch Wranglers. Pass for turn. I'm hoping they're going to be passive enough to let me get away with this. Chandra, Fire Artisan. Exile top card of the library, may play it. Whenever one or more counts are removed from Chandra, deal that much damage. So essentially, at some stage, this is going to be a problem. And it already looks like it might be a problem. Toll the Invasion. We've got a Time Twist. We can go cast this, make a army token, see what happens. We're going to minus... No, actually we're not. We're going to Toll the Invasion first. Okay, so they have another copy of Samet. They have a Mizzet tank that I can't do much about. Whether I can get rid of this. It's non-land, isn't it? Let's get rid of the Mizzet tank on the basis that they can't currently play a second Samet anyway, and Samet is just giving all creatures haste. The other effect is relevant, but they're not attacking with Krenko at the moment, so we're probably okay. Next up, activate this, mill you down again, and we hold off. They gain 3 life, they pump it, they attack Ashiok. We block with the arm token. Okay, Ashiok number 2. Let's go and play Evolution Sage number 2. If we start getting lands, we might have better options here. Alright. The good news is, if they're inclined to attack Ashiok, then I'm willing to let them go. They only have 12 cards left in the library at this stage. We might be able to wait them out here. The problem is Chandra is about to cause some problems. I'm willing to... Do we let that go? No, we block here. Alright, we've got a land. Good news is, land now activates this. We're going to proliferate Ashiok, get the counter back, activate Ashiok, mill you for 4, you're down to 8. We can then play a second Ashiok, mill you for 4, put you down to 2 turns, and hope to win from there. But we're gonna play the War Crocodile. Chandra just immediately nuking the board here. They can exile the top 7 cards of the library and play them. But they don't have... So they have to win this turn. All creatures have haste, but they're not attacking with enough to worry me. We block here. Okay. Pass the turn. Well, we milled them out. Oh boy, you can see the problems with my deck with just that game though. Alright, well we got a Time Twist, we got a Guild Globe. We will keep this. A Real Razor. I mean, just immediately able to do that, having a 0-3 blocker, yeah. That card's underrated, at least by whatever metric this is using. We're going to play a Forest. Profits. Oh, that's a good draw. Alright, let's play a Guild Globe, draw a card, and we have a Ashiok win plan again, but we don't have any creatures to block with at the moment. Take 1, Paradise. Swamp. Let's go for a... I'm running the order here. Let's go Evolution Sage. And pass. Okay, 4/5. Other creatures getting trampled until end of turn. Not too relevant on this board. Okay, so we're going to go Toll the Invasion first. Target creature can't block this turn. That's a creature. I would prefer to have the non-block, unfortunately. Get rid of that. Get the token. We can then play the land, proliferate, put the extra counter on the zombie token. can't do anything with 1, and we've got the 4/5 coming at us next turn. Pass the turn. Well, I think we block here. Vivian's Grizzly. Okay. Play a swap. Again, there were options we had that weren't that, to be fair, but okay. It's fine. So I'm going to play the Pollen Bright Druid. See, if I'd done this the right way around, I'd had a 4/5 on my own. We have a Teferi's Time Twist ready, and we're going to use that on the Pollen Bright, most likely. We could play Ashiok. Ashiok is an option here. But I'd rather keep the Time Twist up for what we're going to be doing. Okay. So... let's go Teferi's Time Twist, targeting this. Turns up the next end step, to be fair. And we're going to let that go through. Take 4, that comes back. We're going to proliferate both. So we now have a 5/4 and a 3/3. Now the question becomes, do we have enough to actually start this? And I think we might have to try anyway. Let's begin the middle plan. So 24. Also getting rid of a couple of removal pieces as well, which is quite nice. No attacks. Down to Samet. You're attacking there. We're going to block with the Evo Sage. And we find a Tameo. Let's go for another Toll the Invasion. We're going to get rid of the Crypto this time. Going to -1. Put you to 18. We are 1 away from being able to Godfarer statue, and that's going to buy us a bunch of protection, in theory. To be fair... protection is a good question. So we can Tameo here, get back the Time Twist if we need it, but I mean they're top deck and they have enough mana to cast everything anyway, so I guess that is the why this isn't that great. Let's -1. Get you down to 13. We have to stay alive is the problem we're having, I think. So let's go Tameo. Let's then... what do we want? Somewhere there was a way to do a thing, and I can't remember exactly what it was. I was told about this very early on in the Let's Play, and I can't remember now. It's fine. We're still going to -3, because I think this is still the better plan here. We're going to bring back the Evolution Sage. So we have that back in hand. We have another creature for next turn. And let's see if we can keep Ashiok alive. We might sacrifice this one, to be fair. They are passing. That is not how you win this game. Evolution Sage. We're going to activate this, mill you for another 4. You're down at 8. We're going to go Courage in Crisis, put a +1 swing counter on this. And then we're going to proliferate you, and you. 5 counters for a single card is pretty good. We actually have the advantage here, but we're winning with mill at the moment, so, yeah. We can find something else here. Let's see if we can find... oh god, I've got to remember the actual card name. What do we put in the deck? No Escape, was it? That's our counter spell, I think. Didn't have one anyway, and if that was not the right card, we now know about that, but that's fine. So that has put 4 cards in the graveyard, which is the other secondary thing of doing that with Tameo. It does allow us to, you know, find more things that we can search with. Let's not attack, because that's not how we're winning this game. Wow. Okay. -1, target you. Play our second Ashiok. Choose one that's down the battlefield. We choose this one. We activate Ashiok. And we pass the turn. Alright, 2-0 to the middle plan. Round 2. Oh boy. Our deck is very reliant on 2 specific things happening, and we got it again. All good. Okay. We'll keep this. It's not amazing, but we'll keep it anyway. Forest Gate. We could really do with a swamp basically now. That'll do. Toll of the Invasion. So what are we working with? We have... Oh, they've gotten very expensive here. So I'm going to remove the... I mean, they do have the lands for it. They have 3 forests in hand. They have no black sources. Arlen's going to double up anyway, so I'm going to get rid of the Obnixilis here, I think. Obviously, the Sovereign's First is something I need to think about, but they don't have black sources at the moment anyway. Obnixilis is the more problematic card for later in the game. So we'll get rid of that now. But if they're that slow, we have time. We can also, remember, rip 1 additional card out of their hand here. Play an island. We're going to go Toll of the Invasion again. Let's get rid of Ravriel, just because, again, it's things they can do. Tap for 2. We've actually attacked once this draft. It may not happen again. That being said, we're currently looking like we're just going on the zombie token plan, which, as I say, was a thing I was thinking about, going Greasis zombie token. So we now have a flying 4/4 that we can proliferate with by doing that. And attack for 8. We're going to win this battle. We're going to win this battle straight. Oh, look at this. They can play an Arlen Chord now. Arlen Voice Pack, rather. We have a 3/3 Wolf. The first real obstacle in this game. Unfortunately for them, we now have a Godfarer statue, so all their stuff costs more. And we're still going to attack for lethal here. Okay. Don't need to change anything up here. Double no escape, Toll the Invasion. We'll keep this. We're going later in the order, and we're doing not a lot else, but they seem extremely slow. Arlen's Wolf. Okay. This one, we're going to go Toll the Invasion this time, just because I want to know what we need to worry about. Vraska's Finisher is the only other creature they have that's relevant, so we're going to get rid of that. So we have a blocker. We're not probably going to block with this one. We're going to go probably Forest, Evolution Sage, but we also know from their hand, from looking at their hand, they don't have anything they can cast next turn unless they draw it. Oh, they actually go straight into 6, so we don't even have to worry about the combat trick in the future. That's fine by me. Evolution Sage. Unfortunately, we didn't have a green source out first. Tap for 1. Okay. They have the mana for Arlen Chord now, and they do have other wolves. So this turn we're going to keep up the no escape. Put the counter up. We could of course play the Wardstone. We're not going to. We need to counter Arlen. No escape, targeting Arlen. And we will scry and put the forest at the bottom. Okay. Forest. Proliferate, go up to 3/3. We will play ourselves. Do we want to hold back? What else do they have in their hand? I don't think we know. Well, maybe we do know. But I think we're fine with just playing out a creature at this stage. I'm happy to trade. Am I happy to trade? I mean, we now have this, but I don't know if we're going to actually do anything with it this turn. So we're going to hold off one more turn. Waterstone Crocodile, we're in one. I say I wouldn't have been upset at sorting that out, but hey. Okay, put the counter on there. So we have a Time Twist, but also we have our Ashiok. So let's start removing your graveyard. We have Counterspell up, we have Fairy Time Twist up, let's attack for 4. I don't really want to deal with this. This isn't that amazing, but it is doing damage to us, and it is forcing discards, so we're going to say no to that. We'll keep that on top. That's fine. Vampire Opportunist. Again, high level drain is probably okay at this stage. Let's mill you for some more cards. The fact it mills and exiles is just, yeah. Okay, there's Tide Pharaoh. We get one. We have our second Ashiok, so we have that game plan sewn up if we want it to be. Let's attack for 4. Well, mill you again. Play a forest. We want to proliferate you and you. Attack for 5. Double block. Sure. Let's kill the wolf. Largely because it's got things it can't be blocked by. 2. Okay, we are in a bit of... There is a possibility of racing here. And that also has not helped our cause. Okay, we might have a problem. So let's Ashiok, remove that. So I have to stay alive here. Spare spinner. So they can just drain me for that, destroy one of my creatures, which has to be the evolution stage at this point. Ooh, this is not amazing. Well, I can Tameo. I can get back in No Escape, but I can't cast the counter spell. Actually, I can. What am I talking about? We can cast the counter spell. So yeah, that seems like what we want to do here. Return the No Escape. Just to give us the maximum amount of options to stay in this game. And we pass for turn. No attacks. So you're going to use your last destroy effect to do this. We draw 2. Down to 6. They're attacking Tameo. I'm okay with losing Tameo here. That's not what's going to win me the game. What's going to win me the game is the fact that once again I have an Ashiok. And I have a second Ashiok in hand. Oh boy, if I didn't have the second Ashiok so reliably, this wouldn't be so good. When I obviously keep this one, and we mill you again. And we let you have a turn. You aren't able to drain us before you take your turn. Alright, well that's 2 games. All I've really shown is how good a card, how good a card Ashiok is. Alright, no Ashiok in this one. We have a hand attack, we have a globe, we'll keep. Alright, forest, go. Erratic Visionary. Draw a card, discard a card. Okay, so they've got card filtering up. Swamp and a globe. And we have a Ashiok. Okay. Can't play it, but we have it. Hit for 1, spell got weird. Forest. We're going to Toll of Invasion first because I want to know what they're messing around with. They have a Jaya Ballad that could potentially come down to greet us. They can Jaya's Greeting, which is free damage. Chandra's Triumph, which is free damage. So they have a bunch of creature removal. So let's remove that and see what they want to do with it. The problem with the creature removal is that makes the scale... We need to deal with this Spell Gorger weird. Okay. Emergent Zone. I could have played this in another order, but I can't proliferate with this anyway. So let's throw out the Evo Sage. Kind of expected, but we did have to eat that at some stage. And with next turn, hopefully if we draw a land, which we need. Didn't get a land. Okay. We also do have a blue source, but I have to sack this to do it, which I suppose isn't a problem. We'll put a +1 counter on itself. And we will hold back. Jaya's Greeting. Targeting that. Well, we are going to activate this. Pay 2. Put in 2 blue and green. And we're going to cast the Fairy's Time Twist targeting this. Take a lot of damage. We might be losing this one. But we can put a +1 counter back on him. So we now have a 3/3. I can make it 4/4, but I think at this stage we are losing the game. We're losing the race. Let's play the Spinneret. If we can somehow survive another turn, maybe. We have to block here, I think. Take 3. We need double black to cast Death Sprout. No, we lost this one. Alright, 1 down. We will play 2 islands. Oh, we have to mull that. Still 2 islands. Okay, let's put this back. I have a feeling we're losing this one. Island go. Forest, we at least have that. Next turn we can play an Ashiok and see how it's like. See how it survives on its own. Yeah, double blue for Ashiok. Gonna mill you for 4. The Raging Crunch, it can't attack. It can't attack alone, so Ashiok's safe for the moment. There is always the option to mill yourself in this deck, by the way. But with Ashiok, you don't have to mill your opponent, but obviously it exiles the opponent's graveyard, regardless of which emoji you use. And they only have 40 cards. We are in a race now, and it's not a race I'm enjoying. Okay, so they've done 3 damage to Ashiok. That's fine. Forest. They haven't played any other threats yet. Mill you for 4. Jaya is a problem, because Jaya can do 2 damage to any target, which is free. But actually not for me. To a permanent or player. Okay. Then that should be free then. Hold on. Another red source. Okay. Play this. Mill you for 4. You're on 12. Tamiyo's Epiphany, because at this stage I badly need to draw anything at this stage. So we can need that. We can then draw both of these, and we have a Wardstone Crocodile for next turn. Okay. We now have a creature, so Ashiok's days are numbered. Forest. Milieu. They're on 7. Wardstone Crocodile. Your job is to get in the way of Ashiok. Skulker. They didn't attack. Oh, we might have the win. They're down to 2 cards left in hand. We're going to put a +1 counter on this creature. Proliferate both. Make a 7/5. We have a counter spell up. We could go and hand attack them now, but that doesn't really matter. They only have 1 card left. Dismissal. Return it to its... You realize that's a really bad play, right? Well, your last card is gone. I thought I was going to have to hold out 2 more turns, but there we go. Alright. 5. 1 more for the full mill victory. Okay, we have a Spinneret. We have a No Escape. This is probably the best Yeah, we don't have Ashioks, but we can get those later. Forest, go. Erratic Dictionary, Island into Spinneret. We'd like a Swamp soon, please. 3 damage to that. Hit 1. Swamp is fine. Toll of the Invasion, please. Okay. So we have the Skulker, which is a free 5. We have the Weird, which gets them into the Sorcery's back. They have a Callister's Missile. They have Double Jaya. I'm inclined to let them keep the Double Jaya here, but get rid of the Weird at this point. They are low on lands. The fact that they're mana screwed might be the one thing that's helping me out here. They got a third land. If we can get to Godpharaoh's statue. Alright, let's think about this for a moment. I want to keep a no escape up actually. Yeah, we attack for 1 and we keep the no escape up. Swamp. 1 away from being able to cast this. We're going to risk the Wardstone Crocodile. We're going shields down a little bit. Attack for 1. There's Jaya. Got done it. They went land into land to do that. Alright, now we play the statue. This hopefully, I mean, to be fair, I say hopefully. It was much better when they had 2 lands and they didn't have a third and they've gone land into land into land to get out of this mess. But, okay. Let's attack you. Callister's Godpharaoh statue is fine. Pollen Bright Druid. Let's put the counter on the Wardstone Crocodile. And we're going to attack with the Wardstone Crocodile. You are down to 6. We could play Tamio, but I want to keep the counter spell. I know they got another creature they can play. That wasn't the creature I saw, but we're going to have to counter it anyway. Island to the bottom. Are we going to win without... We're going to win without our thing here. Actually, Pollen Bright Druid might as well attack Jaya. It's not going to affect the balance. They have to block that Dominant Army token, but I might as well get rid of Jaya Ballard here. There you go. Down to 5. We play another Jaya. Kill that. Yeah, I did know they had another Jaya. There's our no escape. Right on time. Play a guild. Play that. Play an emergent zone. Okay, well, they forced the block, so let's get rid of the last creature. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. To be fair, the best play is probably actually do this and Spinneret, but we have a counter spell. We can play this slower. Unfortunately not. Evolution Sage to the top is fine. We'll play the Evolution Sage. We will play a Tamio. We don't have a blue source up at the moment. Guild Globe 1/1. Get blue black. Now play Tamio, blue black. We want Ashiok. No Ashiok. This is the only game we've not seen double Ashiok. It's bizarre. Yeah, we attack. I was hoping to get Ashiok on the field, but hey, we win War of a Spark. We get our cards. We get another challenge coin. We win a game by deck out. We got the achievement. All right, let's open up our Let's open up our packs. There are some extremely good cards in this set that we would like to do. Tarok is probably not one of them, to be fair. There are some useful things for the zombie deck, as we've seen, but we got those anyway, so it's fine. Alright, come on. Give me what I want to see. Another copy of Tamio is not the worst, but it's not the worst. Alright, let's grab all our cards. That could ultimately have been a better draft, as it turns out. But hey, we somehow got through it. Deserved or not, we managed to get through. So, right, plans. I think the plan at the moment is we're going to go to... Honestly, we should probably do the quests. Okay. Alright. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the red area. We're going to head down. We're then going to... We're going to do that quest. We're going to at least get to that place. So what's yours is mine. We're going to track it and see what we can find. Next time then, we will do that. And yeah, after that, we have 3 more to go. Green, white, and blue. So, until then. Oh, also probably the waste things, because we've seen the Emerald Castle. We just can't get into there for whatever reason. Until next time.